Have you ever noticed how difficult it might be to control the bellows on your accordion? Your right hand part goes well, your left hand part goes well, but the bellows sometimes can go out of air or sometimes squeak mid-phrase, you know. What to do? This video will of course try to help you. Hi, I'm Vidas and welcome back to the channel, and I hope you will enjoy today's training. I will talk about how to gracefully start controlling your bellows on your accordion and other squeezebox instruments such as Concertina, and we're going to make the accordion sing with the bellows, right? So basically the idea of phrasing is done while operating obviously bellows. Bellows on the accordion is like lungs for humans, right? So if we run out of air while speaking, we of course take a deep breath in and speak again, or singing, right? The same thing at the end of the phrase, usually at the end of the musical idea, right? So same thing with the accordion. Usually we start with the bellows closed, and then we gradually open it up like this. And with bellows, obviously, you can make dynamics, pushing and pulling gently and more strongly. But the problem is, and I have my small accordion here with smaller bellows, the problem is sometimes you might run out of air mid-phrase, right? So you have to sometimes reverse bellows directions. And for this, let's take a look at Cielito Lindo, famous Hernandez song, Beautiful Heaven. It's taken from book 3 of Palmer Hughes accordion course, this arrangement. So let me just remind you how it sounds. This tune, right? Beautiful little waltz. And with waltzes, it's very important to breathe with your bellows. Start obviously gently and then finish gently, but swell and increase the dynamics in the middle, right? Like this. Sort of in the middle of musical idea, it's the loudest. But since I have smaller bellows, it would work on larger bellows, what I did right now. I have to switch bellows direction mid-phrase as well. So let's try to do it gently, gracefully, without actually any hiccups. No squeaks. Usually when you run out of air, it's best to switch bellow direction either after the long note or before the beginning of the phrase. So like this. Here, I had to switch bellow direction. And again, right? it has to be seamless. I could play just the bass line for you to just enjoy. Like this. Since there is no right hand part right here, of course we will have to obviously change bellow directions more frequently on a small accordion like this, right? Because right hand would eat up more air, right? One more time. And at the end of the phrase, you could do diminuendo, but then towards the pickup of the new phrase, you could actually do a little bit of crescendo, like this. Did you notice? I'll play slowly. It's sort of like a crescendo before the new phrase. Like this. Obviously, what happens next? A new phrase with a huge dynamic increase, with huge crescendo. So with small bellows, it's really tricky to do it gracefully and seamlessly, right? These bellow changes, bellow direction changes, and controlling the bellows like singing with your lungs. But it's possible. You just need to practice even more, like this. And this little oomph at the end needs to be also very deliberate, because if you run out of air at the end, obviously it will sound quite comical, right? So what I like to do also is sometimes to switch bellows direction before you run out of air, especially at the end of the tune, or before the beginning of the new phrase. If there is a long note and you feel that you will run out of air, you switch before the beginning of that long note, right? And you need to do it seamlessly, and the best way to do it seamlessly is actually to do it soft. Beginning of this long note could be actually softer than the middle of or the end of the or the end of this long note. You see what I mean? So for example, so I start slowly and piano, right? And here you could hear me, of course, with a little bit of hiccup, with too much, right? Sound. So what I like to do is you could actually make the listeners actually hear your long note in a natural fashion, like singing, right? And when you take a breath, sometimes your audience doesn't need to hear, right? If you're singing. So that's things to remember, how to actually how to switch bellows direction, grab some more air gracefully, right? Basically make a piano, right? Or if you want to do it in a forte fashion, you could do it, but that requires obviously very precise switch of direction, like this. Like this. I'm switching directions. Actually, the best way to do it is actually articulate with your both left and right hands together. It's like lifting your finger a little bit, and this way you could actually switch directions of the bellows at this point without making any additional sound with the bellows, unnecessary sound, right? So if you want to do it with a strong push, lift a little bit before that seems to work really well. All right, so if you are playing other instruments with bellows, like concertina for example, let's take a look at concertina and see how our system here is different or is the same. And specifically Anglo concertina. How do you control the bellows on this instrument gracefully, right? It's different from the accordion, piano accordion, or button accordion, or English concertina, for example, because one note is sounding when you have the bellows in one direction, and completely a different note in another direction. I'm pushing the same button, but just by moving bellows, I change the sound. Actually, I could play the scale like this: C, C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C. Like this. And that's the difference, big difference, right, with the accordion. On the accordion you could make long phrases with your bellows, especially if you have you know, larger instruments, 120 basses, right? You don't need to breathe with your bellow so often, right? Take a breath. But with this Anglo Concertina, you need to obviously reverse bellows very often, because that's how you make a sound, a different sound. Obviously, since this is a 30-button Anglo Concertina, there are a number of ways to play the same note. For example, this G could be on the push, right? Or this E on the push in the middle road. Or for example, this E could be here on the first road with bellows out, but on this button the same goes in, the same note. You see? This is done because sometimes you need to play not only a melody but also chords with your left hand, and if your right hand plays a chord, a note which belongs to a specific chord where you want to push in bellows, right, then your right hand also needs to push in bellows, right? In and out has to be the same chordal note, and that's why a number of notes can be played both directions on Anglo Concertina. So let me play Cielito Lindo, the tune itself, and see how it's different from the accordion in terms of bellow direction. I will play it slowly for you to see. Here the secret sauce, obviously, you can make in slow motion very nice vibrato effect by shaking the bellows. If you shake the bellows on accordion, it's not as gentle, right? It's a completely different technique, bellow shake, right? So let's do it with the repeat again. What happens next is very interesting because we switch bellows directions depending on the note, right? For example, C is in, but D is out, E is in, and F is out. So it's a little comparable to accordion if you would actually run out of air and you need to switch very often with your bellows direction, right? And some diatonic accordions do that, right? They are also, like Concertina, bisonoric, playing two notes of the same button on the same button but with different bellow directions, bisonoric. So in that it's different from regular piano accordion, obviously. And here we have second half. here. On the accordion you could easily play E and A, right, together as an interval, but since in the zero on the concertina, Anglo concertina, E is bellows in, but A is out. You can't play it unless you can't play E and A in one direction here. So like this. And obviously the sound is much choppier than on the accordion, right? Because you have to switch bellows direction sometimes every other note if it's in stepwise motion, for example. A lot of articulation is done with Anglo concertina. But it doesn't mean it has to sound choppy, right, all the time, because even the scale it could sound rather legato if you listen. It's like bowing on the violin, not unlike bowing. Down, up, and you only hear a micro rest between those two notes when you switch direction of the bellows, but generally the audience doesn't even hear it, right? You make the change of bow direction a little bit when you articulate, but it's not a big deal. The same is with keyboard instruments. Playing early music, for example, you play almost legato, that we call it articulate legato, but the audience doesn't actually hear it. Actually, it's done very naturally to make more rhythmic accents on the beat by shortening the upbeat, for example, and lengthening the downbeat. So that could be done as well here. Upbeat. Like this, right? But generally you still aim for a singable cantabile style, even on such an instrument, especially if it's not very rhythmical, driving rhythm like reels and jigs or polkas in Irish traditional style. Any other style could be singable, yeah, even on Anglo concertina. So I hope you enjoyed this little demonstration and tutorial about bellow control, and basically you have now idea how to actually control your bellows and make your instrument sing, because that's what the instrument needs, lungs, right? And bellows, this little instrument also has lungs in the shape of bellows, right? And accordion also has bellows. So I hope you will practice deliberately your phrasing and make your accordion sing. So Thank you so much. This was Vidas, and let's keep in touch. Let me know what you are struggling on the accordion or concertina on any other Squeezebox instrument, for example. You're maybe playing button accordion or melodion or maybe bandoneon. These are all variations of different Squeezebox beautiful instruments, which I really enjoy listening to. So let me know what you're playing right now, and let's meet again in the next video tutorial very soon. Bye for now.